starting to think Mando might not be worth watching for much longer. Hi y'all, Snarky J Cosplay here. Season 3 of The Mandalorian premiered last week after a 2-year wait. Of course, we weren't without Star Wars content between then. We of course were treated to the delight that was the Book of Boba Fett, the show that started this YouTube channel because I hated it so much, and of course we also got Kenobi, which was, you know, not great. But we held out hope. We held out hope for Mando Season 3. Why? Well, Season 1 and Season 2 of The Mandalorian were absolutely amazing. I mean, they started a global phenomenon where suddenly everybody that laughed at Boba Fett fans for years was wanting to wear a helmet with a T-shaped visor and be a bounty hunter just as bad as the rest of us had for years. And of course, it introduced like the best-selling Christmas toy, the squeakiest green baby you never thought your kid needed, but evidently somehow has like 17 of them by now. Of course, I'm totally not speaking from experience. There's only 12 on my bed right now. Because of how much we loved the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian, I think Star Wars fans kind of forgot the drop in quality from Lucasfilm and Disney in regards to recent Star Wars projects, and we just thought Mando is safe. He and his show are our one glimmer of light. I mean, when you consider that in the Book of Boba Fett, the best 2 episodes were episodes that Boba Fett was either not in at all or rarely in, and were centered almost completely around Din Djarin / The Mandalorian. And that's what was good about them. We were all waiting with bated breath and big hopes for Season 3. You might think I'm putting this video out a little prematurely, but when you've got a feeling, you've got a feeling. After watching the premiere of Season 3, I made a video and gave it a review of 6.5. And I was honestly being generous because of the love and respect that I have for both the show and everybody involved in it, so I wanted to be nice. But honestly, watching the premiere of Season 3 of The Mandalorian took me right back to every morning that I woke up and sat dreading what they were gonna do with the Book of Boba Fett. That might sound drastic, but that's exactly what they're doing. They had given Mando a perfect out with the end of Season 2. He was kind of a babysitter for Season 1 and most of Season 2. He was on this journey, and I think the introduction of Grogu / Baby Yoda, for the people who refuse to call him by his name, it gave him character development, something that we never saw with a character like Boba Fett, and something that really turned Din Djarin into more than just a bounty hunter. And I think it was a perfect send-off for Grogu at the end of Season 2, because it set up the perfect arc for Mando to stop babysitting and running around with this little green thing, and instead move towards the whole reunification of Mandalore thing with the Darksaber. I mean, that shit is badass. Instead, they realized with the Book of Boba Fett that they didn't want to lose the opportunity to make a million toys of this fucking thing, so instead they brought it right back and are dumbing down The Mandalorian. Now, I'm not gonna say it's ever been like highbrow, very advanced television. The problem is though, is that they brought this green thing back, and the quality, I can just tell from the very first episode, is just dropping. Characters that were written with conviction and hard-assery, like Bo-Katan for instance, are being written wishy-washy and complacent just for the sole purpose of making Din Djarin and his motives work better. Things that could result in some really cool action sequences and big consequences, like getting chased down by a pirate king, get instead turned into one-liner fodder for Din Djarin and the little green guy. Characters formerly painted as and described to be the best warriors, you know, the Mandalorians themselves, are shown to be inadequate fighters lacking any strategy, tactics, or ability to work together for the sole purpose of Mando getting to fly in on the N1 Starfighter and save the day, so your kid will eventually beg you to buy him the N1 Starfighter set. One of the biggest complaints about what Disney has done with both Marvel and Star Wars content is that a lot of what they feed us tends to feel like big toy commercials. And looking at almost every single scene of the premiere of Season 3 of The Mandalorian, that's exactly what it feels like we're heading into. It no longer feels like a project with a lot of love and heart behind it. This first episode episode felt like a product, a series of quick shots, poorly paced and poorly cut together in hopes to sell us some merch, and not something meant to tell a story and really pull us into the universe with Din Djarin. And that to me has been incredibly disappointing. I felt the Book of Boba Fett had no heart, no conviction. It didn't feel true to anything they had ever shown us about this character before, and I feel like, unfortunately, that's the direction The Mandalorian is heading in. I don't take any pleasure in saying it. I've built entire Mando suits, and I really adore Din Djarin. And for what it's worth, I do have a certain affection for the little green guy. I just want him out of the show so we can see some cool bounty hunter shit and not one-liners where eventually you turn around and the kid is spinning in a fucking chair, because you're gonna see it on a poster and you're gonna see a toy spinning in a chair for $24.99 on Target shelves. I don't really need 35-minute toy commercials every Wednesday. What I want is good TV. And that's all from me. I've been Snarky J. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know your thoughts about the future of The Mandalorian in the comments below.